This upcoming RPG should definitely appeal to fans of Earthbound. The Backworld is a unique combination of survival horror and RPG, but for those of you who aren't really interested in the minutiae of the survival horror experience and want something more like a traditional RPG, the game lets you tailor your experience, and you can opt out of some features like permadeath, a single save slot, and other things like that, like hunger system. But what really interested me in this game is the overall vibe of it, which definitely delves into the area of cosmic horror with a lot of RPG mechanics that I enjoy. This game is all about the exploration and finding new and weird things to check out, with something like 100 different areas to explore, all of which have their own feel. You'll have all sorts of ways to get around, apparently, with different ways to traverse their environment, the ability to climb, hover, or use this supernatural dashing ability. This isn't your average slow-paced, old-school JRPG style game. It actually seems to be trying quite a few things that are different, and it's packaged in a way that definitely gives me those Earthbound nostalgia feels as well. The combat system is a big part of that, with the visuals echoing the bright colors and geometric shapes of the Earthbound series, and after playing through part of the demo for myself, I can definitely confirm that it is a lot of fun. The silly dialogue mixed with the atmosphere will absolutely appeal to fans of Earthbound who have been waiting a long time for something similar. Even just going through a bit of it, I feel like this one is going to be able to comfortably sit next to great indie games like Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass. It does so many small things right, and it really starts to add up when you're playing an RPG like this. Firstly, the exploration is actually fun, and there are many different reasons for that. One of them being that there are no random encounters. This is especially important in a horror game, because being able to see the big scary monster coming before it gets to you adds to that immersion. But also, it's just a pain to be pulled out of your exploration by something you can't avoid like random encounters, so I'm really glad it doesn't do that. There are also a lot of things to find in the world, many of which are actually consequential to the way that you play. There are items that seem pretty mundane at first glance, like a baseball cap, but those can actually give you additional abilities to use in combat, passives, and additional stat points if you equip them, so that makes it important to actually look around your surroundings. But it's also just fun to find new things. In the first dungeon, it seems like they almost overdo it in terms of stuff that is interactable, with so many different objects that give you little bits and pieces of description and observations. There are consistently new enemies, new visuals to take in, and things that you don't expect, and that's all in the very first dungeon in the game, so I'm pretty excited to see how the rest of it plays out. Obviously, there's always the worry that they won't be able to keep up that momentum in the full release, or maybe it gets a little bit too cute and complicated in terms of exploration, making you find specific abilities to progress that feel more like excuses to make you backtrack. That's a thing that could happen, but early on there hasn't been anything like that, so I have hopes that they won't fall into the more obvious pitfalls that I've seen in many other indie RPGs. If you're looking for the most simple and straightforward answer to the question, is this game going to be worth it? I feel pretty confident saying yes right now, but of course it's always best to wait and see what other people have to say after we get the full release. As for right now, this game has jumped up to be one of my biggest surprises since I hadn't heard about it until I randomly came across it. I'm also generally not the horror guy. Usually the only exceptions to that are games that really bring it in terms of design, lore, or story, like your Fear and Hunger type games. So it's cool to get pulled into something that is a bit outside of my normal comfort zone. Really into dark fantasy, not so much into horror most of the time. It's reassuring that if I were to ever get tired of the whole survival horror aspect and wanted to just play through the story, I have that option in the difficulty settings and being able to change those. So yeah, if you're a big fan of Earthbound and you can handle a bit of horror, you should keep the Backworld on your radar. It's yet another indie RPG that is punching above its weight. It's going to be a bit before the release, with it currently being marked as a 2027 game, but you can wishlist it right now on Steam, and I'd recommend that you do. For more videos about RPGs of all kinds, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.